Homelessness, a sad condition that never goes away. And so, it's easy to turn our backs on the issue and the people. We keep our distance. We see them as less human than us. We wish they would just pull themselves up by their bootstraps and get a job.
I think we have to think about what would it be like if I didn't have housing? What would it be like if I didn't have a door to open at the end of the day and close behind me, gather around with my family, and feel safe? What would it be like if I didn't have that place to go?
Homelessness is both a cause and a symptom for folks caught in the cycle of poverty. Homelessness destroys hope.
Children are raised with childhood trauma, which amounts to adverse childhood experiences. They grow up still not having been able to deal with some of those issues or barriers that they faced as a child, then have children of their own, and they continue to pass that down to their kids.
Well, the visible homeless are those that we see on street corners. But we also have a very large, I would say it's probably at least double the number of the visible homeless that are scattered throughout our community. They're staying from place to place temporarily with either family or friends. They may be living in their cars.
So we are underneath the Warren Avenue Bridge, and I'm out here for the outreach team. I do case management at the rescue mission, and we're just here to connect with people and hopefully bring them into services.
What drives people to stay in a place like this?
Hopelessness, last resorts.
Because wages have not kept up with the price of housing. We have seen, for example, in Kitsap County, an increase in the average rent of 50% over the last 5 years. But even more disturbing, evictions for non-payment of rent have increased by 90% over the last 3 years in Kitsap County.
Cost of housing has raised dramatically. When we lived in it, it was only $600 for a 2-bedroom. Yeah, now it's over $900.
Many more Kitsap residents are extremely vulnerable. 39% of all Kitsap residents are one paycheck away from being homeless.
You have people living in the woods, behind buildings, in tents, behind tarps. You're talking about people with serious mental illness, seniors, and they're living outside. And honestly, people have been dying.
So this is an encampment of a gentleman I've been working with for about 9 years. His name's Roy. He's been off and on homeless since 1985, but he's now in failing health, and I've been really trying to work with him, trying to get into shelter.
Then you also have to think about the toll on the children. When a child grows up without a home, when a child doesn't know where they're going to sleep at night, when a child goes to school smelling like they have been homeless without a shower for days, how does that affect what they think is possible for themselves?
It's scary because I'm a female, and there's a lot of things that can happen to females out here.
I've had a lot of stuff stolen from me. I had a generator stolen from me just here about a month ago.
I'd have to say the toughest thing about not having a regular place to call home, it's so chaotic out here. You never know what the next person down the trail is going through. When you've got a home, you've got a place that you can go and have sanctuary. You know, it's peace. At the end of the day, you can reflect on your day or what you've learned or what you've done. And being out here, you're constantly on guard.
Whether we realize it or not, we already pay dearly for our homeless problem.
For the chronic homeless population, the statistics have shown that the cost to society is about $23,000 to $25,000 per year for someone who is receiving services such as emergency hospital stays, incarceration, just the cost of services to deal with somebody who is without shelter, versus if you were to have that individual adequately housed, is about half that number.
Permanent housing provides a path for treating the underlying causes of intergenerational poverty.
I believe a lot of the policies that have been put in place across the country and even in King and Pierce counties are reactive to homelessness. I think if we are good community members, good organizations about stewardship of our cities and our county, we can be responsive, putting in place plans that are not only helpful, but they're also restorative in nature, so that it's taking people, not as addicts, not as homeless, but actually as people, and moving them to the next steps and next steps and next steps. But it takes time.
The clients that we house through our programs, we work with them to increase economic self-sufficiency. We have programs that will direct them toward job training and access to increasing their education.
We're hoping over the next 3 to 4 years to be able to open a 50-unit facility that would have on-site services for individuals with serious mental illness. The second initiative that we're looking at is a much-needed shelter for people who normally can't access shelters or won't access shelters. We need a place where people who are chronically homeless and dealing with mental health issues and substance use issues can come, can stay. So we bring health care on site, where we help people get access to employment. We help people get engaged with mental health services. These individuals are part of our community. And if we can see them as one of us, then we can all be part of that solution.
We're grateful for the United Way because it is the key partners that holds us all together.
The United Way is a huge part of what the county is trying to do with dealing with poverty issues, with childhood trauma, with homelessness and addiction issues. I don't see a bigger supporter of the county issues here than the United Way.
I'm going to have to say one of my biggest challenges was losing my 19-year-old son. He committed suicide. He was drinking with some friends one night and he gave up. He walked out into the freeway at 19, and his birthday is this week, coming up this week. He'd be 22. I know it's brought me closer to God because losing a child, I can't explain. I'm still here, and I feel like now I gotta do it for Nate. He challenges me, to get better and do better.
Homelessness is a truly unfortunate condition, but instead of ignoring it, let's fight it. Let's invest in housing for our neighbors. Let's create homes that are safe and optimistic environments for the children of Kitsap County. Join us in the fight for the education, income, and health of everyone in Kitsap County. To change lives, we must live united.